Mom thought a stray cat came in, but it wasn't. She looked at her cat again and understood why he was noisy. Her cat yelled loudly, making her worried. She checked and saw no stray cat outside. She wondered what it wanted and if her cat was okay. She had to wait to know for sure. Waffles is a typical pampered house cat who rarely goes outside. However, he surprised his owner by bringing home an unexpected friend. Despite being domesticated, cats still have wild instincts. They enjoy freedom and choose their own companions. This independence is what makes them special pets. Cats like Waffles can form unusual friendships, proving they are more social than people think. Waffles, with his hunting skills, had a surprising encounter that amazed his owner. All it took was one look out the window and a curious step towards the looming creature. His owner had no idea when it started, but they quickly noticed the orange feline pacing in front of one particular window in the living room. At first, they thought it was a vague interest in the birds outside, maybe even the squirrels. But after watching Waffles carefully, they saw it wasn't the case. However, it only took a couple more hours before the truth would come out. Walking down the stairs upon hearing the usually quiet Waffles making quite a racket, mewing incessantly, was a bit of a shock. What happened after that, though, proved to be a heart-stopping moment, something between fear and awe. Outside, pressed up against the window pane, was a huge spotted cat lying quite comfortably beside Waffles. Stumbling across this rather unconventional sight, Emma never thought for a second that a little house cat would want to be anywhere near another cat. She had once brought home some shelter kittens to foster for a few days, and Waffles had thrown a complete hissy fit. But here he was, having the time of his life, purring and chatting up his new friend. Soon, he'd want to meet face to face, but Emma wasn't at all sure about that being a good idea. She knew the cats could be all peaches and cream one moment and then hissing and spitting the next. People didn't call it a catfight for nothing. The last thing she wanted was for Waffles to get hurt. Then she noticed that the cat outside wasn't a cat at all. Infinitely curious about the larger cat outside, Waffles spent all of his time following the pretty big bobcat around the house, jumping up onto windowsills and quickly running to the doors to follow her wherever she went. Amazingly, she always came back to him. It was a freezing cold day with more snow forecast when the beautiful female bobcat didn't come back to visit Waffles. He spent his days restlessly moving from one window to another, never settling down for long in order to keep up his vigil for his now departed mate. Time passed, and the winter soon became spring. Waffles had been pretty miserable throughout the colder months, and Emma started to worry about his health as well as his broken heart. He was losing a lot of weight, and she knew she had to act quickly to save him. The vet would know what to do surely. Emma was gutted. The vet, having put Waffles on a mood enhancer to combat the depression, still wasn't eating what he should be. You could find him sitting on his windowsill overlooking the back garden where he had first met his wild bobcat friend. What was she going to do if the bobcat was gone for good? One day, Waffles started mewing loudly at the window and standing with his front paws against the glass. Rushing down to see if the bobcat could be back came Emma with a camera in hand. Waffles was ecstatic and happily rubbing up against the window pane. There, outside, was his lady bobcat, lying lazily in the dappled sunshine as only cats big or small do. But another surprise was creeping out of the bushes. Would Waffles be happy about what was about to happen next? Emma held her breath and watched. Waffles and Emma watched in amazement as 1, 2, 3 tawny kittens came bounding out of the bushes with not a care in the world. It's as though their mother had told them that this place was safe and that Waffles was indeed a friend. On its home turf, the typical bobcat will claim at least 2 or 3 different shelters. The most frequently used is called the natal den, which is often a cave or rocky cave-like opening. But in this case, it seemed to be Waffles' backyard. Mother bobcats also have auxiliary dens spread throughout their territories, which could span anywhere between 1 to 18 square miles in size. She could move her babies from one den to another as often as she needed to keep other predators off the scent of her little ones. Emma was thrilled that the lady bobcat was back, and even more so that Waffles was so back to his old self again. He seemed more than happy to have 3 extra wild friends to watch grow up, and who could blame him? They were the cutest baby bobcats Emma had ever seen, although that mainly involved what she had watched on TV documentaries. Emma was initially concerned that Waffles would still want to get out and actually meet the big wildcat face to face, but he seemed more than content to lie pressed against the window pane and live vicariously through his wild family. Emma realized this through her domesticated house cat and his love of this potentially dangerous creature. Luckily, Emma realizes that Waffles, as much as he loves the bobcat, is not prepared to deal with such strength, so he will remain inside, and they can both watch the family grow up and thrive. If you think that friendship was strange, this next one will blow your mind. They would spend every night cuddling on the sofa and watching television. There were plenty of happy moments. However, her fur baby still had plenty of salt and vinegar in her personality. It was this very thing that had made Angela put off getting another pet. While cats, dogs, and birds were staples of home companionship, Angela's oddball side wanted something a little different. But it was after her initial research that she found the combination wasn't the safest. All it would take was a single bite, and she would be rushing to the vet in tears. This is because, especially to her intended pet, cat bites are full of bacteria, and a single nip can cause infections. Add on top of that, kitties have a natural instinct to hunt, and the new pet would definitely be something to chase if there was no bond formed. So, what was the animal in question? Yep, the scuttling lizards made her go ooh, while others would sprint away screaming. Still, there were numerous situations around the world where the two species became friends. It was enough hope that she could move forward. The first interactions would be crucial. Either they would tolerate each other, or she would have spent a couple of $100s for nothing. She carefully set the little dragon on the carpet. Baby immediately spotted the new guest and crouched like she was going to pounce. The end result wasn't so far away from her initial assumptions, she couldn't believe her eyes. At first, Baby crept forward, sniffing the air around the lizard. It was definitely capturing the kitty's interest. The lizard just sat there, flicking its tongue. Angela felt like her heart was going to be out of her chest. Baby then leaned in, but instead of biting, she carefully rubbed her cheek against the newest addition to the family. The little bumps and soft spikes were lovely to brush up against. Soon, an amazing friendship formed. It was only a few weeks into the test, and she was already finding them snuggling with each other. It was clear what needed to happen next. Angela had to take photos of the adorable duo and share them with the world. The bearded dragon, Charles, captured the hearts of many, especially when he wore his tiny sweaters. Angela was amazed by how well the animals got along, even eating together peacefully. Although there was a risk of the kittens bothering Charles, seeing them cuddle and sleep together made Angela incredibly happy. This unique friendship was truly special, and Angela knew they would be lifelong companions.